Welcome to BWell, the City of Buffalo Wellness Program show. I'm Phil Habestro, the host. I hope you'll stay with us today because we've got some really wonderful things to share with you about efforts that are being made in our city to get people out in the winter months and get them out and being involved in the kinds of activities. And with me are Ethan Johnson to my left and Matt Dunning to my far left. Both are employees, co-owner and creative director or manager. Let me get that right, Matt, at Campus WheelWorks on Elmwood Avenue. Gentlemen, welcome.
Thank you.
Thanks. Yeah.
Great to have you here. Ethan, let me go to you first, and Ethan Johnson, let me ask you, how did you get involved in all this biking business and all those kinds of things?
Sure. That's kind of a long story, but I'll try to keep it reasonable.
Okay.
I'd say it goes all the way back to when I was young and just loved riding my bike. It's been something different for me throughout my life.
Are you a Buffalo native person?
I grew up in Jamestown, and
Okay.
then I moved to Buffalo in 2000 to go to school at UB.
All right.
Worked in a few bike shops in Jamestown, eventually ended up at Campus WheelWorks in Buffalo throughout my career, and adventures in riding and racing and commuting, and basically if you can pedal it, I've tried it and enjoy it. It's a big part of my life.
So do you have a favorite? Do you like a fat bike versus a racer? Or
This time of year I spend a lot of time on my fat bike, but I'd say...
And a fat bike is one with wide wheels, right? So the audience knows that.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
much better traction.
A fat bike's a style of bike that was developed in Alaska, actually.
Oh, wow.
And now they're everywhere. But they have a really wide tire. It's almost like snowshoes for your bike. So your bike can stay up on top of the snow and
That's fabulous.
give you a way to play in the snow in the winter.
Super. And Matt, a little bit about your background. Matt Dunning.
Sure. Yeah. I'm from Buffalo, but I moved away for a long time. I lived in Chicago for a bunch of years.
Okay.
When I came back to Buffalo, I just thought I was passing through, and then I ended up getting a job at Campus WheelWorks, thanks to this guy. And the rest has been history. I stayed in Buffalo because it was a great place to work. It was a great community of people who enjoyed going outside and doing stuff and being active.
Well, that's a beautiful lead-in. So the thought came up, and it may have been from both of you or others at the shop, but what's the nonprofit that you started? Share a little bit about that,
Sure.
if you would, Ethan.
Yeah, I mean, we've always been heavily focused on community involvement and trying to get our customers out and doing the things that we sell. We're not just selling stuff off the wall and saying, have a nice life. We're trying to incorporate these people into our activity schedule and the things that we like to do. So that developed into group rides, which developed into more group rides, and every season and year round, and not just bikes, cross-country skiing, snowshoeing,
Yeah.
whatever.
Great.
Eventually it got to the point that it needed to kind of become its own entity, and that's when we started the Campus Cycling Collective.
Campus Cycling Collective, and it was incorporated in 2016,
That's
I think,
correct.
right around there. So
Yeah.
4 years into it.
Yep.
So Matt, it evolved and it came up with this challenge. You want to talk and share with the people what that's all about?
Sure, Phil. So I'm the kind of person who loves winter. And,
Right.
you meet people who are less enthusiastic about winter, and I found it to be my goal to get those people more enthusiastic about 6 months of the year in Buffalo.
Okay.
So we decided to come up with like a winter-long activity challenge.
Wow.
So people could have a reason to go outside. So we gave them a lot of excuses to be active and have fun. So basically what we did is we made a 3-month-long scavenger hunt out in the city of Buffalo, getting people out to different locations in Buffalo, doing different activities by themselves or with a community. And it's been a real success so far.
And so, Ethan, if somebody's watching today and they want to find out about how to get involved with the great Winter Get Out Challenge, I got that one right that time. How would somebody, get engaged with that? Do they need to come to the shop, or is it online? How does that help?
Yeah, there's several ways that you can get involved. Probably the easiest is just to go to our website, which is the campuscyclingcollective.com. And there's a link right on there for the Great Winter Get Out.
Okay.
There's a link to the app that you download for your phone.
Oh, wow.
Yep, called Goose Chase. It's also possible to just go get the app and search for the game. Just make sure you select the 2020 edition, because that's
Okay.
the one we're playing now.
Yeah, yeah, and so, Matt, in that sense, how old is the challenge? Is this the first year, second year?
This is our 4th year.
So you've done the challenge 4 years.
So we started out basically with people that were more associated with the shop and our sort of core campus cycling collective people, and we were
Okay.
just trying to make the most out of winter. And now we're sort of trying to get it out more to the community and get people more interested in doing these fun activities, because we've seen a lot of positive reaction and a lot of community development, and people come and tell us after doing the Great Winter Get Out that they've had the best winter they've ever had. They didn't enjoy winter ever in their life, and now they love winter.
And you mentioned, Ethan, that there's not just biking, but there are other activities.
Mm-hmm.
Have you developed partnerships with other groups or parks or that to do snowshoeing, or is it, something that you're the champions of today? A little bit of both?
Yeah, a little bit of both. I like the phrase that we're the champions of it. But we, like for instance, this weekend we're doing a fat bike race at Burncliffe Resort, which is out in Varysburg. So we have kind of within the Campus Cycling Collective and through our events, we've developed a relationship with them. In the summer, we put on a bunch of events at Spraguebrook Park. So
it's a beautiful park. I've been there.
yeah.
Yes.
So Erie County Parks is a big partner of ours.
Oh, that's great.
We also do a number of events at Delaware Park.
All right. In the city.
Yep. So in working with the city and the Parks Department on that, we've partnered with them now for, I think, 10 years. We've been doing a cyclocross race in the park. Which,
yeah, I've actually been there when
Yeah.
you sort of have to get pay attention because they come zooming by you
yeah.
and so on and so forth. So, Matt, there's a wide range of ways that your team has tried to get the community involved, and you two might both be aware, our levels of physical activity are lower than we want them to be. Let's just put it simply there. So, is this for all ages, Matt? Is it is there a select population? How does that work?
Yeah, so we designed this activity challenge to be accessible by as many people as possible. So there's quite a wide range of things that you can do. We have kids participating. I think the youngest we had were, elementary, middle school age kids, and we have people that are, I'm not sure how old they are, but age is not a stopping, there's nothing that stops people from doing this, because you can do something like ride your bicycle to a coffee shop and get some hot chocolate with a friend.
Right.
Anybody can do that. We also have some more difficult challenges that are like, ride, X number of miles, ride to Niagara Falls.
Ooh.
So that's like a 40-mile round trip. If you're in good physical condition, it's not like the worst thing to do. It's a nice ride. It's beautiful to go up there, but there's something for everybody.
Yeah, and so, Ethan, as this has evolved and it's moved itself forward, has there been any surprises, something that came out of this that you got caught by, in either which way, a positive or a real challenge?
Yeah, I would say it's full of surprises.
Okay.
I mean, for one is Matt creating the Great Winter Get Out. Our community is, it's built of a bunch of different pieces.
Right.
I'd say I'm not just like a mastermind. I'm just a good coordinator of a bunch of really interesting, unique, and active people that have passion to do something for the sake of making all of our lives better.
Right.
Not necessarily, this isn't about the money, this is
Right.
about all of
Thank
our
you.
being healthy, and like doing something that's fun,
Yeah.
giving us a reason to stay in Buffalo, not run away from the winter. So I would say the surprises are the new people we get in all the time, really kind of creates a hive of good ideas.
Yeah.
And, Matt's one of the ringleaders of that, and his Great Winter Get Out is, really become
Right.
changed our winter.
And I love the thought that you both are expressing, that there's input from the participants that helps craft the ideas. Is there anything, Matt, that somebody suggested, that really worked out well, or maybe not so
Yeah.
well, but you tried it anyways because you had the courage to do so?
Yeah, we have a lot of suggestions every year for new challenges. I remember, I think it was at the end of last year, or maybe it was 2 years ago, my friend Ricky gave me a list of like 100 challenge ideas. So some of them we took and some of them we didn't take. But like one that she thought of that I would have never thought of is called Attitude of Gratitude, and that's make a list of all the reasons why you like winter and post it in a public place.
Wow.
So that's something that anybody can do that, and it makes you thinking, well, why do I like winter? Because there's really a lot of reasons for it, and that wasn't something that I would have ever come up with for this challenge.
Another one I really like is people wouldn't think of because they think this is all about exercise, but we have host a pancake breakfast and a spaghetti dinner. These are ways you can score points, and again, that's to like get community together in a way that we hadn't thought of before.
Yeah, this year I hosted a spaghetti western spaghetti dinner.
Well, one of the things that we champion in our work with the Wellness Institute and the BWell program is what is called social capital, the relationships that come and develop out of all that. So we're going to come back. We're going to take a break here for a second. We're going to come back with Ethan and Matt. We're going to talk about some things that are on your mind for the vision for the future and where this all goes. So when you can come back, join us. We're here with Ethan Johnson and Matt Dunning from Campus WheelWorks. Stay with us. Thank you.
Today I'm going to talk to you about physics. Come on in, girls. Let's go. This is the first rocket to get humans to Mars. Really tall. I'm a rocket structural engineer, designing and building parts of the rocket. You are the generation that will be stepping foot on Mars. Do I have a group of astronauts on my hands? Yes. You can become a rocket scientist or whatever else you want to be.
Welcome back to the BWell Show. I'm Phil Habestro, the host, and with me today are Ethan and Matt from Campus WheelWorks, and they're going to be talking with us about their nonprofits and the activities that they got there. So let me go to you, Ethan, first. You've had 4 years with this. Is there a favorite success story that you want to share? About somebody that just jumps into your head as you've really influenced or made an impact on?
Yeah, for sure. There's there's a lot of people that have come into our community and really grown it from our grassroots starting to what we have now. But one of the people that's really influential, who kind of went from a participant to now somebody who helped develop our website and he helps Matt coordinate the entire game, the Great Winter Get Out, is our friend Anthony, and he was just a commuter,
Right.
like somebody who enjoyed riding his bike for transportation, instead of driving, and didn't have like a cycling competitive past like some of us have, and just a very laid back guy. But when you get him into the Great Winter Get Out, he was undefeated the first couple years of it, and just he would go to any length to complete all the silly things we ask people to do for points.
It sounds like he has passion.
Yeah, he got so good he kind of had to step out of the competition and just now helps us make the game more fun.
Oh, that's great. Matt, how about a success story that's kind of a favorite for you?
Yeah, I think my favorites are the ones where people never considered doing something like this, and then they get involved, and it changes their life in a positive way. So there's a woman who's sort of new to our community. Her name's Karen, and she, I think she's like a physician assistant or something like that.
Okay.
And she rides her bike in the summertime for fun, but she would have never have considered riding it in the winter.
Right.
She joined the Great Winter Get Out, and she's been participating in a lot of our group activities, doing bicycle rides, with other people that are in the Great Winter Get Out. And, she has said that this has been her best winter of her life. She used to fall into more of like a depressive time in the winter, like a lot of people do.
Right.
But the activity and the social capital, like you talk about, the camaraderie that people have participating in this has really elevated her spirit. And that's the story with a lot of people in the Great Winter Get Out. The camaraderie and the exercise really help people to keep a positive attitude all winter.
It sounds like the word fun, F-U-N, is integrated into the whole framework of all the things that you're doing. So let me ask you both, you've got some really great experiences here, but Ethan, you're a business owner, you're a staff or a team member for a nonprofit. Where do you see the future of all this stuff going, at least from your end? You have a shop on Elmwood Avenue. Mm-hmm. What are your thoughts about how this may grow or impact the future of our community's well-being?
So as of right now, we're getting ready to open a second location on Niagara Street. So we obviously believe that we're headed in a positive direction, and that this is just going to continue to grow. As we're seeing Buffalo take a little more of an interest in improving cycling infrastructure,
right.
That only bodes to improve the situation that we all have every day riding our bikes in the city of Buffalo and greater Western New York. There's new rail trails out there that are either in discussion of being produced or being produced as we speak,
right.
which gives people safer and more fun places to ride. There's a lot of things in the works that look like, Western New York's a great place to be and a great place to continue to be a cyclist and being somebody who enjoys all of our seasons.
We're fond of saying that Buffalo Niagara is a four seasons wellness destination. Okay. Mm-hmm. Matt, does that resonate with you? What do you see? Because you're in the creative side now. What is down the road maybe from your end?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So jumping off of what Ethan was saying, the region as a whole is sort of finally realizing its potential,
Okay.
And that is economically and, also actively. So, we need the infrastructure to enable people to be able to get out and do stuff all year round. And that's sort of a thing that the city's been working on for a while, and hopefully they'll continue connecting different areas so that people have access to the whole city without feeling like they're in danger while they're participating. So, from the future standpoint, I think that's a big thing for us to get more people involved. Then otherwise, Great Winter Get Out specifically, I think my goal is just to get more people aware of it. The more people that we get involved, the more people that realize they want to do it. So finding other diverse communities that we can get involved with and promote the Great Winter Get Out to, specifically to those groups of people so that they're going to want to participate.
So on that note, which this gives us the opportunity, what's the website again, Ethan, that people can go to?
Yep, thecampuscyclingcollective.com.
Okay, and that's the nonprofit that houses the challenge in that direction. So let me ask you both about the marketplace here, not only in Buffalo, but in the region. But have you been able to develop connections with schools? Our Buffalo Public Schools, for example, has district-wide wellness policy. Have you explored connections in that direction at all to help get the word about what you're doing?
I've just started thinking about this because the Great Winter Get Out has sort of been housed in our community, for the last couple of years. But moving forward, if we want to have a bigger impact, we got to reach more people. And I thought, wouldn't it be cool if we could, make like a school age appropriate version of the game, and market it to schools so that kids would get involved in doing stuff outside in the wintertime. That could be a very cool idea. If anybody from BPS is watching, let's talk about that.
Well, I can promise you this. I have good connections with, you two may not be aware, but there's an organization, it's called the Western New York Association of Health, Physical Education, Recreation, and Dance. That's a lot I know to swallow. But Heather Ratka is the president of that. She's a good friend of mine. And so connecting you to organizations like that. We have the Healthiest Districts Initiative, which is 5 school districts in the region. And I think for me, to share a little bit of my story with the two of you, I've been by your shop 1,000 times, and finally I stopped in and began to learn and understand what you were doing. So you're right, I think getting that message out into the marketplace. And not only can we be a partner for you in that direction, but there's a lot of other folks that I think would be really excited. When you think about the new store that you're going to open on Niagara Street, do you got a location yet, may I ask? Have you figured out where it's going to be?
Oh yeah. Yeah, we're very close. So we're nearing the end of the initial construction phase. So we hope to be open, I'd say April, May,
Okay.
Fingers crossed.
Mid-year.
Yeah. Just about the time when it becomes great for the average person to ride bikes in Buffalo. But yeah, we have a location. It's at 1330 Niagara Street. Okay. That's right at the intersection of Lafayette and Niagara.
Oh, beautiful.
And this new location, one of the things we're excited about is it's going to give us a little better space to kind of start and finish some of our group rides at.
Oh, wonderful.
Parking will be a little easier than Elmwood.
Yeah.
And over the next year or so, there soon will be a double protected bike lane on our side of the street, which will be at our front door, which will be a beautiful thing.
Right.
So we're really excited about that.
Well, and you both talked about the bike and pedestrian infrastructure, and we have, as you may be aware, we were very involved with helping to get the Complete Streets policy passed. Justin Booth was working for us at the time, and I know you work with Justin. It's a great teamwork effort that all 3 of you are making to make our community more bike and pedestrian friendly, in that direction. Matt, on the creative side, we got a few minutes left here. A little bit about your other passion in the music world, real quick.
Yeah, my other passion is Indonesian percussion orchestra music. So it's called a gamelan, and it's a very unique set of instruments. It has gongs and other metallophones, and it's sort of a music style that engenders that social capital.
All right.
Yeah, because it's a group of 15 to 20 people that get together and play really beautiful music. We're called Nusantara Arts.
Okay.
Currently, we are located at BCAT, Buffalo Center for Art and Technology, on Main Street.
All right, beautiful.
And also on the west side.
That's super. So we want to just bring up a very important point. Ethan, if you can jump in with me here, bike safety. Thoughts, tips, what are you seeing in Buffalo to help us with bike safety?
Yeah, I think to me the biggest thing is a lot of people are not quite sure what to do when in traffic on a bike. And by default, if you follow generally the rules of the road that you'd follow as a motorist, riding on that side of the road, stopping when asked to stop by markings, being predictable.
Right.
I'm a proponent of wearing a bike helmet.
Absolutely.
Having lights on your bike.
Yep.
If you're riding at all in the dusk or even during the day, just to attract some more attention to your bicycle.
Great, super. So those are a couple of key points: the helmet, the lighting, the light clothing, and as Ethan said, following the rules and regulations of the highway laws that govern bicycles. Well, I want to thank you both for being here today. It's been a pleasure to speak with you. And again, we are the BWell Show here. I want to thank the wonderful staff at the Apollo Media Center for hosting us, and for my guests from Campus WheelWorks. I guess the watchword here is we don't care if it's winter. Get outside, go talk to the folks at Campus WheelWorks. They'll tell you how you can have some great physical activity and fun during the winter months. Thanks again for tuning in.